Hello, hello. Welcome back to Let's Play Final Fantasy XIV. I don't know why, but my recording software is looking weird. So if there's any issues in this one, then I'll have to do research into what's wrong. But yeah. We were advancing into the post-Endwalker's point of the game. We got to, I guess, continue the main story quest a bit here. So prepare for more cutscenes shortly. We were sent by Tataru to talk to this bar wench or something about a adventuring prospect, like a treasure hunt or something. So, let's go. We saved the world, so now it's just time for good, clean, adventuring fun, surely with no complications whatsoever. Nor moral quandaries, nor crazy bitch goddesses. It's just kind of cute. Honestly, though, I prefer a lady who's, my height or around there. You can be a little shorter, or a little taller. Of course, the taller a woman is, the taller she wants her man, usually. They all have a height requirement. It's hilarious. But, eh. Oh, historian, huh? Okay. Professor Jalheen, huh? Or is it like Jalheen? Or is it Jaleen? Is like the A-H not really dragon? Mm-hmm. Oh, so we gotta get him drunk, eh? Man, I wish other people didn't charge me money for saving the world. That'd be nice. The following event cannot be skipped. You may wish to cancel any pending Duty Finder registrations. Oh, I didn't register for anything. So we know we need to get him drunk, right? If we just jump straight to what we're here for, he'll be like, I don't want to talk about shit. But he's like, shit, you gonna get me drunk? Fuck yeah. He just tilted that up and fucking slammed it. And that's not a small cup either. That cup's bigger than his hand. And it's not just the camera angle. I have heard of Azadal. Makes me want to get back to my Final Fantasy XI Let's Play that I put on hold when Endwalker came out. Azadal is a... I think I ran through them once in the Let's Play. If I remember right, yeah, I fought a Soul Flayer in there. It's the ruins near Ottergon that are actually like the insides of Alexander's original incarnation in that game or whatever. The Khan of the Ari tribe, which sailed to Thavnair from the mainland, is a key figure in the history of Radzat Han. Looks like he's wearing a Ronkin outfit. His decision to aid the Arkesodara is what ultimately won them the war against the Gajashura, thus allowing our predecessors to lay the foundation of this thriving city-state. Truly fascinating story, however, concerning his grandson, Azadal III, who was known for his deeds as satrap in Radzat Han's earlier days. So, Virtra's right-hand man back then, huh? tale of the Sunken Vault, the one you seem most curious about. According to this legend, Azadal III claimed a small island somewhere in the middle of the bounty. There he built a structure reaching clear to the bottom of the sea, a deep and secret storehouse, and locked all his worldly wealth within. In the centuries since, whenever a natural disaster or hardship befell Radzat Han, folk would remember that tale of hidden treasure. Hardy souls would set out to claim their fortune, but precious few ever made it home. Would you like to hear more? Apologies, I have a slight tickle in my, oh, my cup appears to be empty. Yeah, he wants to get fucking wasted. Jalheen gulps down his newest drink with gusto. Those who did return from seeking the oh man, he's visibly drunk. Treasure Vault refused, flatly refused to speak of what they saw. Did this discourage others? Nay, quite the opposite. Such accounts only served to feed the legend. The gold lure grew stronger than ever before. It reminds me of something Azama was saying. Azama's a fellow connoisseur of spiritist potables. Yes, he is. Anyway, he was saying that one of his acquaintances went after the treasure himself. Hasn't been seen since he set sail, I hear, but he did have... no, I can't say no more. You seem a generous sort. What kind of man would I be to encourage what is clearly a foolhardy quest? If my words sent you to your death, I could never live with myself. I saved the fucking world, dude. Get this man some water. He's gonna be hungover. The wink is the symbol for water? Okay, whatever. I guess Clyde's been slamming her from the back on the sly, and they've got their own code. I think Master Jalzan is the guy that works on the Realm Reborn relics. Nice for them to reference him. So we're gonna go look for a man named Azama. Wait, I wonder if Meliel says anything. Yep. Okay. Yo there, man. I saved the world. Otherworldly horde. Well, he was wearing Ronkin stuff, which is from the first. Okay, so he bought a map from somebody, and we're gonna have to go buy a map from somebody or some shit. Every time I see an Arcasodara, I think of Babar the elephant.
Please, Ashal, please! You must let me have that treasure map!
I wonder what these guys sound like in Japanese.
What's all this about?
My mother and father were slaughtered by monsters. My baby sister, still too young to fend for herself, Can you spare us no kindness?
Oh, well, clearly it's a con.
So, you hope to find your fortune? And what? You expect me to surrender my wares for pity's sake?
Oh, come on. The little boy has like a super thick Thavnarian accent, and the dude wearing fancy Thavnarian clothing talks like a Brit. That's ridiculous.
What have you to offer in payment? As I thought. Come back when you've more than rags to your name. This is no mere treasure map. It is a guide to the vaults of Arzadal III, one of the great satraps of Radzat Han, and a direct descendant of Alzadal Khan.
A map to Alzadal's legacy.
So he says. A fake, I'd wager.
This is no fake. The parchment is marked with an arcane glyph of passage. You may find the ruins hidden in the bounty, but you won't be setting foot inside without this in your possession. A priceless artifact it is, discovered amongst the rubble in the aftermath of the final days, and lovingly restored by yours truly. This map is the key to fabulous riches, and I'll be the king of fools to simply give it away. Be glad I am no such king, boy. Your scrawny-eyed had never returned with that treasure alive. Oh, cruel fate! Why must you tempt me with wealth I am powerless to claim?
Oh, overacted con. Who's gonna actually fall for it?
I shall envy the one who purchases that precious map. Whatever they pay will be but pittance against the golden hoards they stand to uncover.
That Highlander ain't falling for it. He's like, psh. Oh, but Estinian's here, and he's in his hobo clothes.
What of you, sir? Fighting man of your stature would surely relish the challenge of recovering Alzadal's lost fortune.
A fortune, you say?
If I had but the strength to seize that treasure, my starving sister would never want for food.
I'll take it. Will this cover the price? Well met, my friend. Someone is dressed for adventure.
I'm always dressed this way.
Why Thavner of all places? Knowing you, I suspect there's more to your plans than sightseeing and shopping. Ruins beneath the bounty. Curious. And here I've acquired a map to just such a site.
With that sale, I do believe I've earned the rest of the day off. Thank you for your patronage, sir, but if you'll excuse me.
You needn't mind us.
And now I've fleeced one of the heroes of the final days. Pray the sisters were looking elsewhere.
This map may or may not be genuine. Either way, we'll need a ship to find out for sure. Lest you misunderstand, I seek the treasure not for myself.
Oh, of course not. It's for the little boy, huh?
If such a fortune truly exists, then it could help ease the struggles of those who lost their loved ones in the final days. I hope to do for Thavnir what you and Alphino did for the Alamegans when you recovered the Mad King's trove. Come now. You know Alphino needs little encouragement when it comes to recounting the tales of your shared exploits. Speaking of precocious lads, that boy in the bazaar was clearly an accomplice of the merchant. Suppose his role was to draw the attention of the crowd and add weight to the merchant's bold claims. Transparent act for the most part. It was not all mummery. The need to provide for his sister rang true enough. Thus, if some portion of the profits end up in that waif's pockets, then I will consider it money well spent. Whether the map leads us to the vault or not.
Man, even Estinian saw through the ruse.
You are coming along, yes?
Well, duh. I'm not in the, this cutscene for no reason.
I thought as much. Now, let's see about securing a vessel.
The little boy's like, oh man, he cares about me, and he's also not stupid. Train the Radiant Host in lance work, huh? Matsia at Akiali. Okay, I guess it would be fastest for us to, what, teleport to Yedley Mod and then either ride west or maybe the Great Work and ride east. I'm gonna go for Yedley Mod. I think I got flying in Thavnir. But I might not. We'll see. Nope, don't have it. I might rectify that later in life or something. See how far away I am from it. Let's see. Oh, okay. I did all of the. I got all the Aether points. I just haven't done any of the quests. Yeah, I'm pretty lazy about flying on alts these days. In fact, I've been really lazy about playing at all or recording or doing anything. Protracted arguments over the quality of the story on the official forum is really kind of made me lose my taste, but also just the fact that I'm not raiding currently because the raid, me and my friends got everything we wanted from the raid already, so we're all on raiding sabbatical until the next raid comes out in late August. We sure do. Alrighty then. But surely we're not going to go just the two of us, right? Man, Estinian can pick up on being followed. Of course, the boy's not exactly a shinobi or anything, so... More I need to know, huh? Hmm. I mean, we probably could duo it. It's not that hard of a dungeon. They're doing their own thing. They're in Garlemald. There was mention of an otherworldly horde, and Y'shtola wants to find out how to get back to her cat daddy on the first, so let's get her. They're seeking money. Bitch, I saved the world. Okay, so I guess our next step is Scions gonna take the boy back, and we're gonna go get Grahatia. I would have tried talking to the little boy, but even if he does have something to say, I don't actually care about it. It's not important. He's probably gonna just be like, "I can't believe you're helping me," or some shit. Yeah, my patience is pretty low, but I paid myself to AFK on cool locations. It's extra low because I was in a car wreck a couple days ago. I totaled my car that my family had had for 21 years, and I had owned for about 14 of those years. Not quite that long. I didn't actually get the title until I was like 22 or 23, but it was my car during college, and the car I was allowed to use to learn how to drive when I was 16, 17. Going down the road, it had been raining all morning, and it finally stopped raining. It was things were starting to dry out, but the road was still wet, and it was a 2-lane road, country road into the city. It was just as you enter the city limits, next to a cemetery with a stone wall that's about, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet high. It's going around the curve. It's a blind curve, right?
Urgica, my good man.
Probably should have slowed down a lot.
Would you be so kind as to...
But I was only going 30 anyway.
Oh, isn't this a pleasant surprise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, about
I wish you had
surprising
sent word ahead. I thought I was having visions for a moment there.
Slow and steady. Raha and I have been compiling old records of the students' activities. We located several accounts in the archives of Numenon and added them to the collection we recovered from the Isle of Vow.
And judging by the progress we've made thus far, sorting this pile will keep us occupied for days to come. But what brings you to the Annex, my friend? Surely you haven't come all this way just to watch us shuffle dusty papers around?
I've come to collect my catboy bitch. Get in my party, Grahatia. Not you, Kryl, just Grahatia.
The treasure vault of Alzadal III.
And you're looking for companions to join you on this expedition?
Yes, but not you, Kryl.
I would dearly love to accompany you, of course, but I'm afraid I'm committed to another task.
Good.
Then again, it's not so urgent that it can't wait until you've returned. You should go, Raha. I'll stay here and mind the shop, as it were.
Are you sure? I'd hate to leave you short-handed.
I'm sure. Just try to be back before too many moons have passed.
Well, I guess we're off on another adventure already. Have you asked anyone else to come along?
Not yet.
Then might I suggest we invite your Stola?
Oh, look at that.
Ever since the Scions disbanded, she spent most of her time cloistered within the Great Gooble Library, hoping to piece together a method to traverse the rift. It would seem, however, that whatever wisdom she sought there was not to be found. She arrived in Sharlayan the other day. We spoke briefly before she began her search of Numenon.
Why doesn't she just, like, look into the Crystal Tower? That would be the biggest logical step.
Considering what you've told us of Alzadal's extraordinary feats, I do believe your Stola would be more than interested to hear what you have to say. Splendid! Then let us head to the archives at once.
Wait, before you go. I have another potential member to volunteer, if you've room to spare. Urianger. He sent the students a request for materials, you see. Treatises on the architecture of treasure vaults and the like.
Why are all books to Urianger treatises?
From what I can gather, the Loperites are looking to make improvements to their own creation and wish to learn more about how we build things down here. So, why not take Urianger with you? Let him study Alzadal's legacy firsthand.
None can deny the benefit of seeing something with your own eyes. If our expedition leader has no objections, I say we extend Urianger an invitation once we've spoken with your Stola.
Safe travels, you two. But don't forget, I'd still like your help with that other matter I mentioned.
Right. Then it's off to the library.
I think I'll forget about it post-haste, Growl. But yeah, I was coming around a blind curve on a wet road. My girlfriend was riding with me. We were just gonna go into town real quick to go to Walmart to get a contacts prescription and some groceries. And as you come around this curve next to the cemetery wall, it slopes downhill, and there's several roads that interconnect there. Most of them are on the opposite side of the road. And it's the main street that takes you directly into the city. And some jackwagon was basically parked. He wasn't actually parked. I think they were waiting to turn. And they were basically waiting to do an illegal U-turn because they were too far down the hill to actually directly turn left onto the road that they may have been turning to. They didn't have a turn signal on either. But either way, at 30 miles per hour on a downhill slope on a wet road, there was no way I was going to stop in time. So I slammed the brakes anyway, and the oncoming lane was empty. But of course I knew it wouldn't be empty for long, but I pulled away from the wall and away from the person I was about to rear end, and I was hoping to come to a complete stop, but my wheels locked into place and I hydroplaned into an oncoming SUV and totaled my car and damaged the SUV pretty decently. It was a rather slow collision, So no airbags deployed in either car, and she's totally asleep. She appears to be sleeping on a stack of books. She must be exhausted because there's no way in hell that that could be a comfortable sleeping position. But yeah, totaled the car I'd had since I was a teen, and now I got to worry about if I'm gonna get sued or not by the other driver. The other driver was a teen girl. She wasn't. I mean, she was too upset to be angry. Like, she was like freaking out, and I apologized to her. I wanted to get her name, but also everyone in the cars behind us got out of their cars and swarmed around us. Like, this one girl had her phone out. Several older women were just like talking about how dangerous the hill is and how they need to put like more lights and more things there. And then like they were consoling the girl and patting her and saying, "Don't worry, he's gonna have to pay for it," etc., etc. The cops showed up like 2 minutes later. An ambulance showed up. The girl's family showed up. The girl and her family got into the ambulance. She didn't appear. There weren't any visible wounds on her. I assume she had the same shoulder, neck, and chest strain from seatbelt and from the force of the collision. And I was just sad about everything. I didn't want that to happen to her or to me. And of course, the people in the red car that was practically stopped on that road, they just sped off. They didn't even fucking wait around to see shit. They just left. And it was like, thanks, motherfuckers. You just caused the traffic collision. You know? Clearly, you don't care about where you were trying to go that much, if you were trying to go anywhere at all. But got a traffic citation for driving too fast for conditions, even though I was still going slower than the speed limit. Like, also they cited the wrong. They said that the cops said the road was dry, and the cops said the skies were clear. The skies was completely overcast, and the road was slick and wet from the 6 hours of rain. But anyway, yeah, so my patience and my levels for tolerance for anything are just like all-time low. I am fucking feeling defeated by life right now. Perhaps this cat girl can cheer me up even though I want her to die.
I've never known Y'shtola to doze off in the middle of research before.
Dude, you barely know Y'shtola. Hell, because of the time bubble, Clyde barely knows Y'shtola. Someone recently came up with a theory that all of the events between A Realm Reborn and the present day of the story take place within a 6-month crunch. It's no more convincing than any of the other time theories about how long has actually passed.
Close my eyes for one moment.
What, have you been awake for like a week straight or some shit? Also, do you think it would be hard to stay awake if you were blind?
Ow!
Oh, it was supposed to be cute and funny, but honestly, there's nothing funny about a book that thick falling on your head. In the real world, that's actually potentially fatal. Like, there's all sorts, if you look into it, there's all sorts of incidents with people using school textbooks as weapons and hitting other kids in the back of the head or other teenagers in the back of the head and killing them. Like, I didn't mean to kill them, I just hit them in the head with a book. I didn't think it would do that much damage. And it's like, a thick book can be a pretty decent weapon. Gotta be funny. If we can't get a death to stick on this girl,
Something to that effect.
then we're gonna be funny. Oh, she grumpy.
I must have been studying for 2-3 days straight before exhaustion finally claimed me.
You say studying, but I mean, like, how much information? Like, aren't you just looking for specific information? Like, you're not really studying. You're like skim reading.
As you know, I've been researching ways to travel from the source to one of its reflections. Well, looking for hints at least. I don't expect to find a simple set of instructions tucked away in some dark corner of the library. So I've been skimming through the stacks, hoping to uncover even a partial mention of any similar feats in the past. A means to travel between worlds exists, and you can be sure I will find a way to employ it. So I promised Runar, but 'twould seem I've set myself a nigh impossible task.
Why is it nigh impossible? We've already done it several times. We also know of an entire species that can do it, the Void Scent. Really, what we need to do is crank back up the Crystal Tower and find out. You know, I know it was partially because of the Pact with the Cloud of Darkness that allowed it to open a Void Gate, but like, normal mages and shit open Void Gates all the time with Void rituals. Theoretically, we could open a Void Gate and go into the Void, and then I guess we'd have to figure out how to open, you know, how the Void Scent travel to the other shards, because, you know, there are Void Scent on the first. So
You needn't be so hard on yourself.
as we saw in the Caster Roll quest. Right?
The leap I made with the Crystal Tower was not achieved in an afternoon. It was the culmination of a collective effort spanning generations.
Oh, you think me discouraged? I assure you, 'tis quite the opposite.
The lighting on the top of her head is wigging out.
A daunting challenge and the time to sink my teeth into it. I feel like a fresh-faced student again.
A scholar in her element.
Fucking nerds.
Indeed. Was there something else you wish to ask of me?
We heard about an otherworldly horde.
Al-Zadal is no minor figure in Harnish history, and much is known about his family. But this is the first I've heard of a descendant surviving a trip to another world. If those tales are true, then he may have left behind some clue as to how it was accomplished. An invitation to delve into one of the world's lingering mysteries. As if I could refuse.
Well, I do like her enthusiasm.
And whence do we embark upon this expedition?
Akiali, by ship. But before that, we thought to extend an invitation to Urianger as well. He was in Thalmazane, last we heard.
Then by all means, let us recruit him, and be on our way.
Yeah, I don't actually want her to die because I hate her. I mean, she does grate on my nerves more over the years. But that's because for the longest amount of time, she barely got any character development. And then they kept flirting with the idea of death. You know, like she... At the end of... You know, they flirted with death for every major Scion cast member at the end of A Realm Reborn. So they all have one death that didn't stick. And that goes for, you know, Thancred, Y'shtola, Lys, who was Ida back then or whatever, pretending to be Ida. I guess we gotta go to the Thalmazane, so we gotta teleport again. Kaporia is the closest one. Yeah, Papalimo actually died. He's the only one from that. Well, I guess technically Minfilia died too. Yeah, Minfilia died, so... Sad. But, yeah. All the major Scions from A Realm Reborn, they all got a death flag. Except for Urianger wasn't there. He wasn't at the Bloody Banquet. But yeah, so that was the first time. But of course, what actually happened was she teleported herself into the live stream and she got fished out of it in Heavensward. Okay, that's not too bad. That's actually kind of really interesting. Cool. Right? Well then, in Stormblood, she gets cut through her clavicle artery by Xenos while saving Lisa's life. But, oh, don't worry. She can just get some bed rest for the rest of the expansion. No threat of extreme blood loss, you know, and a cut that would kill anyone in 4 seconds in real life. And it's like, well, okay, it is a fantasy world. We did start applying healing magic almost immediately. Maybe Makote anatomy is slightly different than human anatomy or something. Maybe they don't have a clavicle artery in the same position.
Ah, our illustrious champion. Cloaked in the mantle of the common explorer, fame set aside in thy pursuit of simple adventure.
Oh yeah, sure. So simple that it's a legendary treasure hoard related to a crazy, powerful, awesome Middle Eastern kingdom in the middle of the sea.
I am told a new expedition is in the offing.
Yo, where is Thancred at?
He left to attend to some personal errand, but should be returning ere long.
You've been keeping yourself busy, I trust?
True to our plan, Thancred and I embarked upon a pilgrimage of sorts, with an eye for gauging the state of those lands through which we passed. Our travels were interrupted, however, by a request for aid from our befurred lunar allies. As you may recall, the Loperites had been seeking new purpose for the moon, another role through which it might serve to benefit mankind. The Forum hath been working to advise them in this endeavor, but I return to offer mine own counsel.
And this has what to do with treasure vaults, exactly?
Ah, you have learned of my predicament from Mistress Cryle. I know not whence they acquired such knowledge, but the Loperites now stand convinced that adventurers delight in treasure hunts.
This is a meta commentary on the treasure map hunting that you can do, that they come out with every expansion. I've never shown one on the Let's Play, and I don't think I will because it requires getting a party of people together. I guess I could try. But basically, you take a treasure map.
With their newly built wonderland of riches and mystery, do they hope to entice all manner of daring delvers to the moon? So earnest and innocent was their desire to bring joy to the world that I found myself powerless to refuse them my cooperation. But what of you, my friends? Why are you come to Labyrinthos?
Yeah, you take the treasure map to an overworld zone. You fight some monsters when you dig out the box. It opens a portal, and you basically go inside a dungeon where there's like a 50-50 chance after you fight a wave of monsters you get a treasure, and then there's a 50-50 chance you open a door and either you get ejected from the treasure or you go further. And sometimes they vary. Sometimes there's no doors and it's like a roulette wheel, or like, you know,
Fascinating. This is indeed a most fortuitous opportunity.
but it's kind of fun. You get a lot of money,
I should
in-game
be
money from it.
honored to accept thine invitation.
Also, usually glamour items. I did some treasure hunting in Heavensward, Stormblood.
How long hath it been, I wonder, when last our actions were not impelled by fate or desperation?
Technically, aren't all of our actions still being impelled by fate? Because, like... whatever.
Aye. Though I cherish the Scions' accomplishments. 'Tis pleasant to not have the weight of the world upon our shoulders for a change.
Are you sure about that?
Counting Estinian, we number 5 now, yes? Without knowing what traps or perils await unwary feet, we may be wise to refrain from recruiting others.
I agree. Between us, we should have the skills to handle whatever situation may arise. Shall we be on our way?
Yes, let's.
What, no time to spare a word for the grizzled old bard?
You want to come too, man?
All is well, I trust?
He says grizzled old bard. At 1.0, he was like, his disguise was he was a bard.
A wasted trip, I'm afraid. I'd hoped to catch up with a former mentor while you parleyed with the rabbits, but it seems our paths were not to cross. Having an astrologian beside you on the road is surprisingly convenient. And it doesn't hurt that he's making strides with his light-hearted banter. In any case, as we made our way around Ilzabard, we saw that much of the continent was in various stages of chaos. A certain amount of disorder is to be expected. The final days are over, and the people no longer have a common threat binding them together. That's the thing with these fledgling troubles, eh? You need to keep an eye out, lest they mature into full-grown headaches.
Yep, gotta take your ibuprofen early.
So, for what reason have so many esteemed personages seen fit to gather?
Treasure hunt, bitch.
Beneath the waters of the bounty, you say? I see you've already stolen away my traveling partner with the promise of unexplored ruins and scholarly glory.
Nay, 'tis not for mine own indulgence, but rather the fulfillment of my commitment to the Loperates.
Ah, of course. And if you have Estinian rounding out your group, you'll likely have all the members you need.
Feeling left out? I could put in a good word for you, if you like.
We may have been released from our obligations, but I'll never be free of that merciless wit of yours, will I? In all seriousness, 'tis best I sit this one out. Too many former Scions consorting with one another might be seen as a cause for concern in certain quarters. I'll return to my usual reconnaissance and scout out the situation in the Far East. Feel free to share if you come across any interesting revelations. Till we meet again.
Shall we also hasten our departure? Sir Estinian will wonder what hath become of us.
Let's get going, shall we? Now, is it gonna... No, but... Okay. So it's not gonna dump us right at Yedley Mod just yet. Yeah, these cutscenes are a bit longer than I remember. Of course, you know, I said it before and I'll say it again. If I haven't played through a section of the story at least, I think 2 or 3 times, then I don't really remember how long cutscenes are. Also, I think it's funny, this title I gave to Clyde. I'm actually using the title to reference Endwalkers, but the title itself is actually from some other quest that was before Endwalkers, and I think it's related to the Siren from like way back in A Realm Reborn or something. Alright, cool beans. Let's just take this tenacity food because we're going to be on tank probably. Never tire of this feeling. Orphans, orphans. Okay, okay. Azadal's legacy. More than simple folklore, huh? Well, it's not like you know anything about Thavnir, Y'shtola. Yes, let's dispense with conjecture. Okay, just gonna get their little dialogue here. Because I kind of went through Y'shtola's a little bit fast. Okay, a few grains of truth, got it. Caution is paramount! Okay, well, let's see, can we actually enter the dungeon? Okay, well, we're gonna unlock expert mode, I guess. Let's see. Average item level of 560, which is the default level you get to if you have 560 accessories or higher. We're rocking 580 accessories because I spent Clyde's money, so I guess we could at least go buy some my 580 weapons first. And honestly, even though this is the story we want to do, it might behoove us to do some other dungeons first, because there's going to be immediately more cutscenes, and we're already pushing in on an hour, and the side quest dungeons will have less cutscenes to go through for. So, okay, we can't afford very much, but we can get the classical longsword. Wonder how much they're charging for the shield. Okay, we can afford weapon upgrades. I wish I wasn't stuttering so much nowadays. I have been stuttering a lot more these days for some reason, and I'm not really sure why. I think it might be the stress of life getting to me, but it could also be, I don't know, maybe a neurological disorder or something creeping up on me. I hope that it's not, but it could be, you know, so. Can I meld? I don't got anything worthwhile to meld, and I can't meld it myself. But I hate not having at least materia in, so let's see. Oof. Okay. There should be a guy out there. And you notice we're going to get to use trusts for Azadal's legacy, but we do not get to use trusts for the side dungeons. And this will probably be the only side dungeons we get to have for Endwalker, because since Shadowbringers, they have committed to only giving us one dungeon per dungeon patch. And so we're going to have to do, you know, the other dungeons with actual players. So I guess let's just see which one we get and hope we get a fast party. This is a reset day, so people are trying to do expert roulettes to get their tomestones, which we now have tomestones of aphorism and tomestones of astronomy. And I believe at the end of August we're going to upgrade to some other tomestone. I don't know what it's going to be called yet. Probably something to do with either space or with old Greek words, or words that pertain to scholarly topics. Throughout the game, we've had tomestones of the very first tomestones, I think in 2.0, were tomestones, elegant tomestones of philosophy. I wanna say. And then the special weekly capture tombstones they came out with were tombstones of mythology. After that, they came out with tombstones of soldiery. And then after soldiery came tombstones of poetics. And for a long time after soldiery, if I remember right, I think they got rid of mythology, possibly, or maybe they kept mythology and got rid of soldiery. I can't remember exactly, but either way, poetics was the final tombstones at the end of 2.55. They came out in 2.4 and they stayed around from 2.55, and they have carried on ever since then as the default tombstone for all prior expansions. The reason for that is because they're necessary for the 50 plateau. And it's easier to have just one type of currency instead of, expanding this list, and looking at these discontinued ones. They always keep a couple of them, the discontinued ones, around so that you can trade them in for the current ones, or poetics. But then in Heavensward, they came out with elegant tombstones of, I believe the first ones were law, and the second ones were lore. And then it was... after law, it was tombstones of... what are these ones called? Let's see. Allegory, Revelation. Well, I'll have to look it up. I guess since we're waiting, and I'm only going to wait on these dungeons queuing for at most 10 minutes. If we don't get in by a 10-minute mark to one of these, then I'm just going to cut the episode. I'll look up the elegant tombstones. Elegant tombstones. 414. Oh god, excuse me. Yeah, okay, so I was right. Philosophy, then mythology, then soldiery, then poetics. Ah, okay. So it was tombstones of law, tombstones of esoterics, then tombstones of lore, and then tombstones of scripture for Heavensward. And when Stormblood rolled around, they decided to nix literally every tombstone they came up with in Heavensward and combine them all into poetics, so that poetics could serve as the prior expansion tombstones. Like, you would still have to collect tombstones to get the tombstone gear, but basically, just consolidated it all into poetics. Which honestly, I wish they had consolidated it into... they could have consolidated it into anything, but I wish they would have consolidated it into something else, because I don't like the term poetics, as far as these tombstones go anyway. But yeah, then in Stormblood we got tombstones of verity and tombstones of creation. Then we got tombstones of mendacity. Then we got tombstones of Genesis. And then they destroyed all of those. Come Shadowbringers, and they all got lumped into poetics again. And come Shadowbringers, we got tombstones of Goetia, tombstones of Phantasmagoria, Allegory, and then Revelation. And now in Endwalker, we have tombstones of Aphorism and tombstones of Astronomy. And apparently, we're going to get... apparently they've either data mined it or got it out of a live letter. I'm assuming it's from data mining. But apparently people have found out that the next tombstone we're getting is Tombstones of Causality. And that's probably in direct response to being a Berserk reference. Oh, time elapsed 3 minutes. Smileton. Okay, I wonder what went wrong. Maybe their tank quit on them right away or something. Oh. Okay. Well, maybe they had a problem on a trash pool? Huh. Exotica Exotica. Well, they've cleared out a lot of the enemies already. The DPS quit, then the healer split right after. Huh. Now, this is the beginning of the dungeon. If you remember from the last recording, this was like the living quarters they were setting up for us, and apparently stuff went wrong, and the big cheese is like drilling into the core of the moon, and I guess maybe moon monsters have gotten in. Huh. Maybe with Exotica Exotica we can push up to the boss. I don't want to wait here forever, but I guess we can see what happens. I mean, we are a paladin, but I don't know how fast we could actually kill any of these. I might have to start another recording mid-dungeon or something. Oh, cute-o-ra. Okay, we might not have to. These are monsters from Chains of Promathia in FFXIV. If you watched that Let's Play of mine, then you've seen the Thinker before. Alright, looks like we got a cute Viera for our White Mage. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, so this guy targets the things on the outside, and then they shoot beams. You don't want to stand into that orange beam because that is an instant death laser. But you gotta go opposite color to opposite color to opposite color, basically. And it's gonna throw other stuff at us as that increases the fight complexity. And if you ever double up on colors, I think you take like double damage, and I think if you double up on colors 3 times, although I've never done that, so I don't actually know. But I think if you double up on colors 3 times, like same color 3 times, then you die. But I'm not 100% on that, so. Okay, so upside down is gonna flip the faces on the outside. And now everything is red. And he's doing the push at the same time. Shazam. I guess Thotica Exotica is new. She doesn't, I think, get it. But it's okay. We'll make it. She'll learn, and we'll make it. Oh, there she goes. And now should be the reverse push, I think. Yep. Yeah, it's actually a decently complex fight for just the first dungeon boss. Oh look, a tank buster. How about that? It's adorable. Let's go ahead and use that. Yeah, I can use it on trash. And we can greed on this other stuff. And it's not going to be as high level as the accessories or anything that we bought. But it is. Just go and do that. You can turn it in for Grand Company points. I'm trying to say here. Sometimes the healer will heal you like right as you're pulling stuff, and then they get the initial aggro. And it's kind of annoying, but it's something that's always been a tanking issue in this game. It's something you always have to account for. One of the nice things about the Gunbreaker tank is they actually have a healing over time effect they can give to themselves whenever they pull, and usually combined with the tank stance, it's enough to ignore that healer problem. But it's only available once a minute, so if you have really, really hot smoke and DPS, then you don't get it every pull. But you should get it almost every pull. Gunbreaker's a fairly convenient tank. It's not quite as convenient as Paladin, but it's like the next best thing. Although Warrior's pretty up there too, as far as convenience. And I'm gonna sneeze. Oh dear. Nope, maybe not. Okay, this guy's like a robot with robots. He's a bit simpler than the first boss, actually. He like has those arrows that point where he's gonna go, and then like his robots, he's gonna like send them signals to do similar moves. Yeah, printed workers. Whatever way his robots are facing, that's the way they're gonna do their attacks. Yeah, so like you just move the boss away from them as you can. And, since we have an all ranged party, it doesn't even really matter where we move the boss. So we as the tank are the only melee. It's actually not that bad of a fight. Okay, so you see how that one bot is pointed towards us? Yeah. You can see where the robots are going to face themselves ahead of time like that. And once you know that, like, you should never get hit in this fight. You can see even the relatively new person, Tadaka or whatever, they are doing just fine. They are not getting hit by anything, as far as I've seen in this fight. See how they're both pointed like, yeah. But now the boss is gonna throw us a curveball. He's gonna actually run towards the center, I believe. Yeah. But it's okay, because you just like stand close there and you're still at max melee. And I think he might do a tank buster eventually, maybe. It doesn't really matter though, because like even if he did, it's just like not even a consideration. Very, very easy dungeon boss. They definitely could have used trust for this dungeon if they had wanted to. Hey look, the energy sigil around the tools, that matches the crystal sigil that was special for most of the game. It just doesn't have the crystals of light in it. Not what I meant to do, but... yeah, well. Ah, look at all these lasers, bright, flashing colors. It's a very shiny party. Kind of cool. You can see that they like how they make and drill and stuff, I guess. And I can't tell if this is like halfway made stuff or if it's halfway drilled stuff. It's looking like it's halfway made stuff, but I mean it could be halfway destroyed stuff. Under construction, sorry. I guess technically Paladin has a dot heal too whenever you use Sheltron. At least that, yeah, that Knight's Benediction. I guess you could use that on a pull, but it would waste the mitigation you're supposed to be getting from Sheltron, so not quite the same as the pure heal that Gunbreaker has in the form of Aurora. Okay, is that the big cheese? Guess we're gonna find out. Greed, greed, greed. Beer looking good. The big cheese, Smile Maker. Looks like something that could pass for the Alexander raids. These bombs are gonna go farther. They've got more arrows, right? So, yep. Okay. Oh, that's a tank buster. I don't think it's actually AoE though. If I remember right, my friend Khalil, like she ran circles around me. Hope I better do coffee too or I'm gonna run out of breakfast. Yes, that cat buff. I did it too soon. I was a fool. Oh, that's nice of them. The safe spot is not on the same side as the mine. You would have expected it to have been, so that the tank would have to detonate the mine, or melees would have to back off. But nope. Right disassembler. Your right or my right? I fucked my paladin rotation up nearly completely. Let's see. Let's just run into it. Oh, it didn't. Didn't matter. I thought it would matter. It didn't. Oh, maybe it did. Maybe it did for this one. I don't think. The other mine, yeah, the other mine's still in the back, so it mattered for that one. Neat. And for that. Neat. I did it good. Although technically, since we're an all-ranged party, it doesn't really matter. Uh-oh. We've got to move. Let's do that. We got my paladin rotation back on track. I'm just gonna hallowed it. I do not care. Magical sword finish. We're the only man in this party. We have a cornucopia of ladies to smooch. Kinda cute. Can't read her search comment. I thought she had a search comment. Oh well. Okay, let's see. Speak with Building Way. Aw, snap. We're gonna have to go there. You know what? I'll teleport up to the moon, but next time we'll save. I'll start next video by talking to Budding Way all the way out there since I don't have flying. If I had flying, I'd go do it right now and cut the video off. But yeah, whatever. So anyway, thanks for watching. Stay safe and have a great day. Next time we'll finish up with Building Way, and then we will do Altadal's Legacy with the Scions. So thanks for watching. Stay safe. Have a great day. And yeah.